Israel continues to target infrastructure essential for survival: water and sanitation infrastructure, solar panels, bakeries, mills, crops. It bombs hospitals, decimating the healthcare system. It targets aid workers and the infrastructure of the United Nations. It is because of the policy of Israel that Gaza has become a place of death and despair. In conclusion, Madam President, many propagators of grave atrocities have protested that they were misunderstood, that they did not mean what they said, and that their own words were taken out of context. What state would admit to a genocidal intent? Yet, the distinctive feature of this case has not been the silence as such, but the reiteration and repetition of genocidal speech throughout every sphere of state in Israel. We remind the court of the identity and authority of the genocidal inciters: the Prime Minister, the President, the Minister of Defense, the Minister of National Security, the Minister of Energy and Infrastructure, members of the Knesset, senior army officials, and foot soldiers. Genocidal utterances are therefore not out in the fringes. They are embodied in state policy.
Now, tomorrow, representatives for Israel will defend their position to the panel of 15 international judges. A final verdict is unlikely anytime soon. In fact, it could take years. But if the court determines it does have jurisdiction and there is merit in South Africa's case, it could issue interim orders in the next few weeks to require Israel to cease its military operations. The court's orders are legally binding, but it doesn't have a police or military force to actually enforce those orders. So Israel could simply ignore what the ICJ rules. South Africa could take the issue up to the UN Security Council to get an ICJ order enforced, but the United States would veto any such move in order to protect Israel. Still, this is not a quixotic endeavor. To the extent that international law exists on this planet, it must reckon with what's happening in Gaza. And this would be the first time the ICJ has agreed to hear a case involving Israel's treatment of Palestinians. Both Israel and South Africa are among 150 nations that are signatories to the Genocide Convention, which doesn't just forbid countries from doing genocides, but requires them to actively stop those genocides as well. And the only two countries that are living up to the obligation so far are South Africa by bringing this case, and the Houthis in Yemen by enforcing a blockade on Israel. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new videos. Also, if you want to see Means Morning News in its complete form, not just the clips we post here, head on over to Means TV and get access to all our new episodes and our entire backlog, plus tons of other great movies and original TV shows.